Hello friend. In this session we are going to learn about the construct or the structure of a technical interview. So this is a very important session because it will take you through three phases, that is for pre-interview phase to conducting interview and the post-interview. So what should we do pre, post and while in interview? So let us start with the pre-interview preparatory phase. So the first thing which come in mind is to study the position and job description. So yeah, so basically in technical interview we need to be very well prepared about what position we are hiring and what will be the job description. And second will be understand the mandatory and optional skills. Like if suppose we are hiring for a SQL developer, so definitely we will be requiring a SQL as a primary skill, that is a mandatory skill. But if in case the candidate knows Oracle as well, so yeah, that is a bonus for him. So that is, we need to mention very clearly a primary skill as well as a mandatory skill, because mandatory skill as well as an optional skill. So this is you should have to keep in mind. Like suppose you are hiring for a Tableau developer, so Tableau will be a mandatory skill, whereas you can say a optional skill will be a cloud computing, AWS or a Power BI. Next we need to study the resume to understand the technical strength of the candidate, project that the candidate has worked on, responsibilities assumed by the candidate, and written communication and formulation of sentences. So this all thing also we need to be very, like we need to keep in mind that this all thing, basically the resume, how it is structured, how it is written, how it is prepared, so that all thing definitely affect the person who is seeing the candidate resume, basically the hiring manager. So technical strength, yes, we need to see what are the technical strength that the candidate poses. Like if suppose we are hiring for a SQL developer, so definitely he will be or she will be having a SQL as a mandatory skill. But what after that? Like he has agile, waterfall model, Scrum, or apart from that, if he has knowledge of Oracle, Java, like multiple skill sets. So we will definitely go with that type of candidate. Apart from that, you also need to understand the previous experience of the candidate, like what all projects, what all domains he or she has worked on. Like if suppose our company is a finance domain, so we will definitely target a finance domain candidate first. Like if suppose he's already have a finance knowledge like capital markets, share markets and all, or any other finance related domain which you are targeting for your project, so if it's matched with the candidate directly, then definitely it's a perfect match. But if suppose what if he or she doesn't have a finance domain, but he is very good in the technical skill set for which you are hiring, so definitely you can't just think of the domain or matching or domain. You just can't have some pre-thinking of it, like a pre visualization, like no, I want candidate with this position, with this knowledge, with this domain. No, you have to be attentive at the time of interview, and you just need to focus on the skill sets first. So domain comes afterward. So basically if the strength of a candidate is good, then you can give him or give him a chance for and to work on your project. So what are the responsibilities the candidate has already taken? Like if suppose he is a manager, so whether he has to handle a team earlier in his previous organization or not, or if he is a SQL developer, so at what level he has worked, like in junior level, senior level. So if suppose we are hiring a technical lead, so we will definitely require someone who is 5+ years of experience. So yeah, if the candidate has that experience and he has that exposure, like he has work around 3+ years of SQL developer and 2 years or another technologies. So basically, if he's matching with the job requirement, then definitely it's a good match. The next, we should identify the question based on the resume to be asked during the interview. So sometime what happened, we have a pre-prepare interview question. So instead of that, we can also find out some hidden questions that are in the resume of the candidate. So we can just analyze that and ask the candidate at that point of interview. So the next is to going through the question bank. So every company has its own question bank for hiring a candidate. So like suppose if you're hiring a SQL developer, so there are many SQL developer working in your organization. So you can ask anyone, or you already prepared some question bank for hiring a new candidate. So question bank plays a very important role because it will help you at the time of interview to just ask the question which is like most top 10 asked question for SQL developer, or basically which are running on the at that moment. Like every company is asking that type of question, or any other question which you feel that it need to be asked to the candidate. So you can prepare a question bank according to that, which is very helpful. And after that, you need to understand the provided technical interview evaluation template form, which is we provided you by the HR. So HR will provide you with the form. So definitely you need to just rate the candidate uh, on each scale. Like I will definitely show you the form in our next slide. So but the form is very important because at the time of interview you need to rate the candidate in a scale of 1 to 5 in each parameter, like communication, like presentation, or the technical skill, ask, coding, and querying. So everything you need to rate the candidate. Go through the previous feedback shared by the interviewer if applicable. So if suppose in technical interview, definitely there are 5 to 6 rounds which usually conduct. So if suppose you are the third one, so definitely you will go to the previous rounds feedback for the first and second, what the candidate feedbacks are, whether he's on average level, whether he's an expert, whether he's if he is poor, definitely he will not be higher on the first round only. So if he's an average, what is the rating? Overall rating he has been given like 3.5 out of 5 is 3.5, 4, 4.5. So depend upon the rating he has got from the earlier interview rounds. So based on that, also you can analyze and ask the question to the candidate. So the most important part is the time duration. How much time you should give for the pre-interview preparatory analysis. So usually, typically a new interview or typically technical interviewer should spend around 30 minutes, focus on most to most max to max 30 minutes, whereas an experienced technical interview will take around 15 minutes to prepare all this, that is a pre-interview preparatory document.